Today's video is gonna be about my favorite plants in S&D. As you can see, we are in S&D game type right now, which is a classic game type. I just loved S&D because of the strategy. You can win a game of S&D without even shooting one bullet. That's how crazy it is. So today we're gonna go over some of my favorite plants ever. Most players, when they get here, they're like, oh, I'll just plant it, whatever, you know. Newbies would be like, oh, I can plant it here. I would usually jump on this ladder, fall down, and then go, not even there, but like right here. Because what this forces the enemy to do is they have to go up that ladder, or they have to do a jump, maybe from that box. They have to do a tricky jump, and you could be over here just chilling out. You can't just walk up to this and defuse it like that. It's not possible. Okay, bomb site B. This is one of my favorite bomb sites. The bomb site is actually like a fuel tanker or something. If you were to plant it right here, it would plant it on the ground. Not the best, right? It's a little bit glitchy when you're walking on this thing. They obviously didn't intend for anyone to get up here. But you could plant it here, which again forces the enemy to go up that ladder, jump there, jump here. You know exactly where they're gonna go before they even get here. That's the beautiful thing about this. So you could plant it here, but an even better spot that they might not even be able to find it is right here. This is gonna plant on the very edge. Now again, you might think, well, it's right there, I can just defuse it, right? No, you can't. Most of the time they can't if you place it right, and they can't actually see it either. So it's like, where is it? If they don't jump, then they'll be like, where the heck is it? I don't see it anywhere.
They will kill anything.
Okay, so this is A. Usually I would do something like this. Because if I can see into both of those houses, then that means I can see from those out. And I would just like kind of hang out. You could kind of just chill here, because you know they have to come up here in order to clear you out so that they can defuse safely. I'll just like prone right here maybe. This isn't the best, but like you have a view of that and you have a view of that. Something like that. Or, you know, I like to do this one too. But then you have to have your sound down really high, because otherwise you'll miss the diffuse sound. A, you can kind of like plant it right on the outside. The bomb is kind of like visible from the outside. You can just be, you know, checking here and killing anybody that diffuses or whatever. That's one way to do that. You could also just plant it here and just like be in any of these nearby rooms and just be watching. One of the great things about Pavlov house is how many different little rooms there are that you could come out of, so they're never really gonna know where you are. So for B, what you could do is you could just plant it on the outside like here. That'll put it like right here, and then you could be like up on the roof, you could be there, you could be over there maybe. What I like to do, yeah, right here. So basically, you know it's ticking, and from this distance you can hear it. And so if you hear them diffuse, then you'd be like, oh, you know, oh, maybe I'll go check or something. You could also be here, I forgot. I think this might be the better place, because then it's a shorter jump. And even if you fall, you can just go up here and confuse them even more, because then you'll be on the lower level. They won't expect that, you know? There's a room that's like, yeah, here we go. This room is kind of like siloed off. You can just like chill out here and probably hear the diffuse from that distance. Yeah, you can just plant it here and then go over here, and then it's a beautiful part of Pavlov where you just sit and wait and listen for footsteps if they decide to not be crouched. And just chill the hell out, you know, grab a beer, whatever. You're chilling now, because if they try to come in here, you can just, you know, pop them. If you start hearing footsteps, you can check some of these, and then you got an eye on bomb. Look at that, it's perfect, right? What I would normally do, make sure you're flush with the box, make sure you walk all the way up to it, and then just backstep a tiny bit, and you'll get the indicator, and you'll plant it right in this little nook. And so some people will just, you know, chill out here and just watch for enemies. This isn't the greatest because you can't prone, so your head is going to be exposed any time. But you could do that. I usually like to go over here. This is a usually pretty safe spot, because they're either going to be over there, or over there, or like coming from L or ramp room. There's another really good plant on A. If you plant it there, then you can still see it from this distance, and I think it was possible to defend it from ramp room. Yeah, so see, I have a line of sight all the way from ramp room. So what people would do, you plant it right here on this ledge. Here, I think. So now you run the fuck over there. Go up ramp room. Boom, look at that. You see that glowing? It's kind of hard to see. They might be able to defuse it while being invisible though. They can be like here behind the box and then you can't shoot them, I think. I don't know. B. So plant the explosives. I might have planted it on the wrong spot, but basically you go here. And in this mode, you could go up to Popo, but it won't help you, obviously. You can't go into that other room like you can in DM and TDM. But basically, you just like you just like pull out like this, and you just like, I'm gonna watch the bomb. But the problem with this is, you know, people could come from there, people could come from there, and then you're screwed, right? You don't have a way to defend yourself. It's kind of stupid. It only really works really well if you know that they're like near B, and there's only like one person left. So then you know that they're gonna be, oh, over there. If they're putting too much heat on you, then you can just hide and be like, what's up? I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna wait for that diffuse sound effect, and I'm gonna be like, oh, boom. Another way I would do is I'd just be here and just be watching alley, because most people that go for B will like go into the alley. So you just watch alley and you just be like, oh, boom. And then you can also watch from this angle, keep checking each, and then if someone does try to defuse it, you can just pull out and be like, okay, there are like a million ways to do A, but one of my favorites, plant there, right? And then go into the box room. This is one of my favorite spots of all time. Hang out here, check the door there. One very popular option. You just go all the way out here and then you stand behind this box and then, hey, you have a line of sight into the bomb. And you can just chill out behind this box. Okay, I remember now. I do love B because it's another one of those plants where you can kind of like trick newbies. You can't plant it on the tank, but if you go down here, you can plant it. And so, again, we're controlling what the player that's going to be defusing it is doing. We know that they're going to have to go up that ladder, or maybe they'll go up there, but that's more work. But we know they'll have to go up that ladder, they'll have to get on that tank, and they'll have to fall down. Easy, so we know exactly what they're going to do. We control where they go, and then we can have them in our sights. Very popular technique is either be in the second or third floor of this building, and just look out. Powcamp is a classic S&D map. Nobody plays S&D on Powcamp enough. I mean, obviously now CoD1 is dead, but like, even back in the day, no one would play S&D on Powcamp, and I'd be like, why not? It's such a good map. So the great thing about B is, you see that little shack? And you're just gonna be in this shack, and you have a line of sight into the bomb directly. You're in range, I think, to hear the diffuse sound effect. You can just chill out until you hear the diffuse sound effect. I'd usually be like right here, like proned. You could even wait until you hear it with a delay. If you hear the sound effect and then you hear nothing for like a long time, then you know they're diffusing it and you can just be like, hello. One way you could do this is you could plant it and then you could go there. But the thing is, someone could be diffusing it while prone, so it doesn't really work that well. So I like to plant it here, and then I love to be behind this like wardrobe. It's not the best spot, honestly, but you'd be surprised how many times I've both been duped by this freaking wardrobe, and I've also duped other players by being behind it. Can't even see the character. I think I remember some people being back here. You're pretty close to the bomb. You could be watching over there, and then you could be checking out who's coming through the gate or whatever. Or you could be here. So now you have a line of sight into the bomb, and this is kind of like, you know, you got some cover here. This is kind of good. Brecourt is actually one of my favorite S&D maps, and it's another one of those maps that nobody plays S&D on. I'll say it's actually one of the maps I'm like horrible at S&D on. I'm horrible at it. For some reason, I can't like aim correctly ever on this map. But I mean, it's not really about where you plant it as far as I'm concerned. It's like more about where you go after you plant it. So like I would usually be behind that tree, usually, or I'd be in one of these hallways. You can also be over there in the trenches. I don't think that works as well. You could be back here, kind of chilling out, hoping nobody sees you. It's not the best, but it has worked in the past. Better yet, you'd probably be good to be like in here somewhere, you know, checking both ways, seeing if anyone's coming from that way, and then, oh, okay, if no one's coming from that way, you could check out this way. This is kind of tricky because if you walk too far, then you become in line of sight of the other direction. So you have to be careful. Okay, the final bomb site is going to be B. These craters were the key to S&D, whether defending or not, I think. This is a good spot because no one can see you, right? No one in the world can see you, unless they're actually in this ditch or very, very close to you. But when you pop your head out, you're like open to fire from anywhere. So it's kind of not good, but if you know that they're over there and there's only like one person, you can just kind of like creep out and then shoot them, and they'll never see it coming. Another strategy is to be like over here, like behind this tree is one of my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video of my favorite S&D plants and defending strategies. It was a lot of fun to make this, and let me know if you guys want more COD videos.